What's up, guys? James with Heel Toad. We are back working on the 2010 STI. Today, what we're going to do is get rid of this trash turbo inlet. The last one of these that I did was a giant pain. I'm hoping that with what I learned from doing it, a lot of the time it took was just trial and error. Will it come out this way? Will it come out that way? What do I need to cut? What don't I have to cut? Hopefully all of that has been learned doing the last one, and this one will go a lot smoother. On these, we've got to take out all the vacuum ports. I already took it off. You can see down here the TGV motor. It's just loosely in. It'll be easier once this is off to kind of get a hand in there and finger tighten the bolts back on. On the bottom bolt is just a pain to get to. I did wind up getting this bracket back on. The one on the other side around here is just a huge pain, so I think for now at least I'm going to leave that off. I'll bolt up the air pump and all of that stuff when we get closer to being ready to fire the car up. Also, the other thing I'm going to do is switch out this boost controller here for the Grimmspeed 3-port, so we'll get that done. The biggest pain on these is going to be back in here, this one, and then the breather hose, or the hose here that runs over to the bypass valve is a giant pain. Just to get back on, there's not a lot of room to work with. The clamp is also twisted where the pinch to get it off is over on the bottom. For some reason, they felt like that was the appropriate way to put the motor together, was to put the clamp on upside down so you can't get to it. So that's what we're going to be combating today. Hopefully, like I said, it won't be too bad. Should be fairly straightforward. I got a pretty good game plan, I feel. I'm going to get that turbo inlet out of there, and then I'll worry about the 3-port boost controller. That one's pretty simple. Just plug and play. Take the old one off, put the new one on, run the new lines, and you're done. All right, so let's get into it. What's going on, guys? We finally got the turbo inlet out. If you notice, I had to cut off one of the flanges. This side piece here, the return piece for the breather hook for the bypass valve. That had to get cut off. These other two just broke off, which is, you know, much easier. Also did break 3 of the hoses. I don't know if you could see me changing them for the PCV system. They were hard, they were brittle, and they just, anytime you messed with them, they just snapped. So had to change out 3 of those, so did have to wait for Subaru to get those in. They were really quick about it, so that was a plus. While I was trying to get those off, I did slice my finger open. Don't know if you guys can see that in the video with the time lapse going on or not, but I did cut it open 3 stitches later. But we're back into the car. So now what I'm gonna do is go ahead, we've got this Mishimoto hose, and the nice thing with it is all of these little flanges are removable. It also comes with clamps. It comes with 2 different clamps for the turbo mouth, so it is gonna come with 2 different versions of that, and I'll just kind of see which one's easier to put on. Hopefully this is not too hard to go ahead and shove through that opening, since everything is flexible on this. It's not half hard, half flexible like the other one. And the fittings come out, so it should be pretty easy to just mount those back up. Get it in there. Getting it over the mouth of the turbo is always the hardest part, but that shouldn't be too bad. We'll get in there with a screwdriver, maybe some alcohol, just to spray on there, just to lubricate it a little bit if we need it. I'm hoping we don't though. So that's really all I got for right now. We're gonna get back into getting that turbo inlet on. What's up guys, we are finally done with the turbo inlet and the EBCS from Grimmspeed. You can see we finally got the inlet wedged in there, got new hoses. This is new. There's a couple back there that you probably can't see right now. Also got the boost controller on here. Just gonna play around with making sure the lines are run in a way that isn't gonna cause them to just kink up real bad. But since it does mount up a little different, it's just going to take some playing around with, I think, to make sure everything's squared away. As long as it's not a full bend, it should be fine. This one, you know, this used to run under here, was mounted a different way, and it had a bigger nipple on the end, adapter, whatever you call it. This one has a real small one, so I just stole the adapter that downsizes it from one to the next from the old one. Threw that on there. Looks like I might have cut one of them a little short. Luckily the Grimmspeed kit comes with just a ton of tubing, So it's really easy to just play around and get it dialed in. What I'm going to do next is run the 3-port boost controller. I'm going to probably have to blast it with some PB blaster back there on the bung to get it to break free, as well as heat it up or use a breaker bar. I don't know, but it's wedged, it's rusted in there really good. Once we get the wideband put on, wires run into the cabin, make sure everything is run to where it needs to be. I'll go ahead, finish putting the car back together, wire the new wideband up to the rear O2 sensor so that it reads in the cob access port, and then we can finally get the car back on the road, get it started tuning, and hopefully dial in that 93 tune really quick so we can go ahead and get on E85. Alright guys, that's going to be it for now. I'll see you guys in the next one where we'll be putting on the wideband and starting to get it tuned. Catch you guys next time.